Hey everybody, and welcome back to Baysinger's Disc Golf Channel. If you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that little notification bell thingy. That way you never miss one of my uploads. Alright, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about each mold individually because I do already have a deep dive disc breakdown for every RPM disc, which you can watch in the playlist called Deep Dive Disc Breakdowns. I will link that up in the corner. And finally, we move on to the distance drivers from RPM discs. First up, let's talk about the first distance driver approved from RPM discs, the Kiwi. Now, this is another disc that has gone through some flight number changes in the RPM lineup, but don't worry, almost every disc that you're going to find online now are the new overstable flight numbers. This disc was originally designed to be a understable driver. I can't quite remember exactly what the numbers were, but it was a very understable distance driver. I bagged two of those older runs just to get a flip up, turnover kind of disc, similar to what my Pekka is, but with a little bit more distance, and the other one that I bagged is actually my roller disc. With that being said, if you can roll the new Kiwi, you are a magnet. This disc is absolute beef. The flight numbers are 10404 and oh my goodness, that is correct. This is a very, very situational disc. If I can get this thing over 200 feet, I am happy. The Kiwi is one of those discs that you absolutely never have to worry about turning over. You can release this thing on as much angle as you possibly desire, and it is still going to flex back. I have personally had multiple professional level players throw a Kiwi from RPM discs only to walk back to me and say that thing is stupid. And that is true. This thing is stupidly overstable. Now with that being said, you can get this disc in the strata plastic, the Baysinger plastic, which can beat up and actually be very, very workable, but it almost flies a little bit too close to a Huia once you do that. I'm not by any means saying this is an unusable disc, I'm just saying that I personally do not have the arm for this disc. I keep one in my bag. It is purely situational when I absolutely have to get some skip around something or just absolute hook right around a tree. If your Firebirds and Felons and all those overstable discs are failing you on your windy days, get the Kiwi. Next up, let's talk about the Kahu, whose flight numbers are 13.5, -1.2. This is the highest speed distance driver from RPM discs, being a 13 speed, and this disc can be an absolute workhorse. The most recent runs of these Kahus have been super flat and very overstable. With that being said, there are some absolute bomber runs of the Kahu out there. This is the first disc that I ever threw from RPM discs, which absolutely started my love for the brand. Within the first few throws of the Kahu that I currently bag, I could see that I had more distance potential with a beat-in Kahu than any other driver that I've thrown on the market. Some of the more overstable runs I have to personally release with the Anheuser to get all that glide, but once I hit it just right, oh my gosh, it's amazing to see this thing fly through the air. If you're looking for a good overstable bomber and want to try out something from RPM discs, try out a Kahu. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about the RPM discs Kotare. This disc is similar to the likes of an Excalibur or a Force. It can be a very overstable disc and an absolute workhorse of a forehand disc. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not that big of a forehand player, but I do have some flippier runs of the Kotare that I can actually throw on a backhand, get some good flips, some turn, and still have that absolutely predictable fade at the end. Kotares are a very flat top distance driver, as you can see. This is once again another reliable windy day disc. Pick yourself up a Kotare from RPM discs and try one out today. That is it for this video. As I mentioned in the intro, please consider hitting subscribe and comment below and let me know how many discs you have thrown from RPM and what your favorites are. If you want to see more detailed disc breakdowns of every single RPM disc, make sure you click the playlist that I will put on the end screen of this video. As always, please click like, subscribe, comment, share this video with your friends, and help promote disc golf in your area.